And welcome back, 8th of August, high five a day, straight to the first question. Right, solve, give your answers to one decimal place. This is a clue that I cannot factorise, so therefore I'm just going to go straight to the quadratic formula, which means my A is equal to 1, my B is minus 6, and my C is minus 20. Let's put all this together. That means that X is equal to minus B, which is 6, plus minus the square root of 6 squared, I'm just going to write 36 straight in, minus 4, times 1 times minus 20. So I'm going to put 20 in here and make that a plus. I always do that, it just makes it neater for me, and divide all of that by 2 times A, which is 2. Let's neaten this up slightly. So that's going to be 6 plus minus the square root of, well, 36 plus 80 is going to give me 116. Divide all that by 2, and then get my calculator out. So answer 1 is going to be 8.4. What's it want? One decimal place. So 8.4. And if I do the minus version, that's going to be minus 2.4. And that is it. Quick check. So I solved, giving you answers to one decimal place. I've done that. Question done. Next question. Enlarge shape A by scale factor minus 2. So it's going to turn it upside down or change the orientation. And it's also going to do the other side of my centre of enlargement. So the way I'm going to approach this is I'm going to start with this point here. And I'm going to go up to P. Then I'm going to do that twice the other side. So 1, 2. So what I'm doing is I'm reflecting, or I'm doubling my vector, if you like, on the other side. Now I'm not going to risk doing it in one go from here because I'm going to risk getting that wrong. So I'm also going to pick this point here. So across 2 and up 1, across 2 and up 1, across 2 and up 1. And that's, if you like, that's given me this corner here. And now I feel comfortable filling the rest of the shape in. So a quick note, that's 1 square, which means that my other shape is going to be 2 squares above. Remember what I said, because it's a negative, that means I've changed my orientation. I've actually flipped it through the centre of enlargement, and that is going to be my final answer. Then it says, write down the gradient of a line, which is not to do with it at all. Write down the gradient of a line that is perpendicular. Perpendicular means that I have a negative reciprocal gradient. So the gradient of this is 8. Negative reciprocal is minus 1 over 8. And what does it want? So it's write down the gradient of a line. Well, there we go. I've done the gradient. Doesn't want a line, just wants the gradient, minus 1 over 8. Very different questions, not connected at all, but is what it is. Sophie selects a shape. So it's a probability question at random, then replaces it. So this is not a conditional probability. Find the probability if she selects one of each shape. So what I need to do is I need to do square and triangle, or do triangle and square. Again, order matters here. So think about it like a big tree diagram and how it matters which routes I go down. So in order to do square and triangle, well, there are 3 squares and 5 shapes. Remember, I'm replacing that shape again, so then there's 2 triangles to choose from and 5 shapes, which is going to give me 6 over 25. Then if I do triangle and square, well, there's 2 triangles to choose from and 5 shapes overall. Then there's 3 squares to choose from and 5 shapes overall, which is also 6 over 25. Which of course makes sense because it must be the same to pick a triangle and a square than it is to pick a square and a triangle when I'm replacing it, i.e. it's not conditional. It should be equals. Add these things together, that gives me 12 over 25. Now what does it want? Find the probability she selects one of each shape. So I've done one of each shape, happy with that, so my answer is going to be 12 over 25. Next one, find an expression. So an expression is something that doesn't have an equal sign for the third side. So that's this side here. And I would notice that's a right angle, so it's Pythagoras. So it's going to be 3n plus 1 squared minus 3n all squared. In other words, hypotenuse squared minus the other side squared. To be honest, that's an expression. That should be fine. So I suggest it probably wants it simplified. I should also know, by the way, of course, I need to take the square root of this because it's Pythagoras, isn't it? Let's try and tidy this up. So it's going to be the square root of 9n squared plus 6n plus 1 minus 9n squared. The 9n squareds cancel, and that just leaves behind, it does look a lot better, doesn't it? 6n plus 1. And that's going to be my final answer. I can't simplify that anymore. And that is it. That is today done. As I've said many times in these videos, nice mix of questions today. Slightly different probability one. Good little expression question at the end. Let me know how they went for you. Do like, subscribe. You'll get to see these videos every day. And I'll see you for the next one. Thanks all.